with the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer situation at Manchester United. Now, as I said at the top of the show, Robbie, he could go 9 wins from 9 in all competitions. Then it becomes very difficult not to give him the job. Even becomes difficult right now. Couple that in with their main target being Mauricio Pochettino, who has just watched his Tottenham side leave 2 cup competitions in 4 days and come out with some interesting quotes about the fact that he'd rather finish top 4 than win silverware. How does the last few days for you affect the landscape of the managerial search at United?
For me, it doesn't change anything. Pochettino is still the #1 choice. And I get 8 wins out of 8. I get better football. I get that Solskjaer knows the DNA of this football club and knows the values and the way that it wants to play. Steve Bruce is a Manchester United ex-manager. Mark Hughes is a Manchester United ex-manager. Paul Ince, they could have gone in and done the job because they know the DNA of the club as well. Rebecca, this job isn't just about managing a group of players over 8 games. You could almost call that a new manager bump that he's gone in. He's made people happy. He's put his arm around people. He's getting performances. I'm taking nothing away from the 8 wins because he's tactically set the team up against Spurs and Arsenal. You can't just win a game on freedom and happiness. So tactically he's done things right. But this job is a big job and it needs building from the ground up. And that's why I think it's not for Solskjaer. It needs someone who can look at the chemistry in the dressing room, go in the transfer market, deal with difficult players, deal with the press when that might turn on, deal with the pressure of Manchester United when things aren't going well. We don't know how Solskjaer will react if he goes 3 games and 3 defeats. So what I know with Pochettino, I look at what he did at Southampton, took them from a middling club and gave them something special. What he did at Spurs, a wannabe top 4 team, to a team who now finishes in Champions League spot. For me, Pochettino is still the right man, despite however well Solskjaer's doing.
And he is doing marvellously, and that, in a funny way, is Manchester United's biggest problem. In a way, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is doing too well, because he is now giving them a difficult situation, because the groundswell of opinion is surely this guy's worth sticking with. But this could still be a new manager bump. Pochettino, are they going to get him? There's no guarantees he's going to come in and start really well. So it's a very difficult decision they have to make.
Yeah, essentially they said, come in, study things. Don't do this well, because now the guy they're after, and it is Pochettino. Listen, Solskjaer was not their first choice, isn't still their first choice. The unprecedented loaning of a manager from a club he's supposed to go back to is strange for Manchester United to begin with, and it was all because they knew the balance and the affinity for the club and all that stuff would steady things. And I agree with Robbie Earle that this is more than a managerial bounce. And the evidence, I mean, the data points, the portfolio of work, it favors Pochettino, even dropping out of these competitions. But Pochettino's comments about top 4 being enough, juxtaposed to in the same week, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer saying at Manchester United, top 4 is not good enough, you must win. It just builds this desire to have him at the club. And I just think, I don't know, I like him for the job. And I don't think they'll get Pochettino. I agree, probably as the first choice. I would look at Solskjaer and say he could do it. Listen, you know, Giggs had a short stint, but it was kind of too big for him. He admitted he broke down in tears after the season. I mean, that's a legend. What I love about him is he's a legend without being a star. And that humble nature with an affinity for the club, you know, Pep hadn't proved anything when he got the Barcelona job. And so I just think...
So giving it to him?
Don't rule... I mean, listen, there's a lot of information left that you're going to get, because you don't have to make this decision today. But he could do the job, I really think.
Here's a perfect situation, Rebecca. Job swap. You put Pochettino in at Manchester United. I think he'll make them better and they'll go on and they will win things. I think put Solskjaer into Spurs. I'm not sure he could keep them in the top 4.
Well, I mean, big build from the ground up, too. I mean, he was at the ground at Manchester United. Some of the reason these players are doing well is he's coached them already. He's built. Now, big games, Champions League, he's done it as a player. We'll see if he can do it as a coach now, but I just think don't rule him out for that job.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings on NBCSN.